Hey there guys, what is going on? Gil right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And today we are here with a new guide. Yes, finally! It's been a while since I've actually made a guide, so I am going to be a little bit rusty at this, but I'm assuring you guys that I'm going to do my best in giving you guys the best tips and tricks for what I'm going to be talking about today. And I mean, you guys can see by your screens right now, and you guys probably know by the title what we're talking about, and that is of course the dispatch quest. Now of course, if you guys going to enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course comment down below how often do you guys do dispatch quests, because one of the reasons why I'm making this video is to kind of tell you guys effectively what I think about dispatch quests, as well as obviously guiding on how to do it, the best way to go about it, and stuff like that, of course. But let me know in the comments, how often do you do your dispatch quests? Do you do it on a regular basis? Do you do specific ones? Let me know down below. Now, what are dispatch quests? Dispatch quests are sort of like expeditions, basically. You take a couple of units, put them on a team together, send them out for a specific duration, and then they come back, you get rewards. It's very easy. It's very, very simple. It's very, very easy. It costs stamina as well, but in my personal opinion, I mean, you guys can see I'm at 99 plus stamina, and also I have like 1500 potato snacks. Trust me on this, after a point in time when you're playing this game, maybe like mid game to late game, you're gonna be fine for potato snacks and stamina. You're not gonna stress whatsoever, so don't worry about that. Even if this costs stamina, it's free resources, and that's the reason why personally I would do this every day, if I remember to do it, that is, of course. But I always try and remember, because usually whenever I do my dailies, I go through story, boost, event, and then other, and then I go into dispatch quests and get it done. So it's free rewards, it costs stamina. What else? What exactly is dispatch quest? What else can you do with dispatch quests? Well, there are a couple of other advantages to doing dispatch quests. Like I said, some people do specific quests only, and I'll go over which ones they do in particular. Now, this is the screen you enter when you jump in, first and foremost, into the dispatch quest. You have the morning board, you have the night board, and then you have the special board. And I am going to be giving you guys a complete guide on what exactly you can do with the special board, as well as the units you require for the special board. Because I know a lot of people tend to struggle to find like, oh, what units you can use for the special board. I'm going to be going over that, so don't worry, don't stress on that. There will be a specific section effectively at the end of the video, near enough to the end of the video, talking about the special board and the units you need for that. All right, so you come into this menu here and you see this, what exactly is happening. So as you guys can see, you have various quests here. They give different rewards, they go over different things, they do different things. You guys can see on the left hand side as well, it changes. Like this 8-hour quest, the Great Fault, is a Falna quest, which means if you click on this quest button right here, you can see what it gives. It gives a bunch of Falna, and if you get a great success, it gives a secret hammer as well as Iris, right? So that's something you can do. If you go over here, which is a crafting quest, the lower floor materials, you get materials for crafting and stuff like that. So each quest has a different thing that you can gain from doing it. So it's always beneficial to look into what you can get, and maybe then you can accordingly send out your units if you want to do that specific quest. In my personal opinion, I would just do all of them because, well, it's free resources. Like I say, it's free resources. I don't have to worry about going into like the crafting quest or something like that to get materials. I can just keep coming back here and getting it done, right? So what happens with the morning board and the night board is that it resets every morning and every night, as the name suggests. So what you can do, and this is why I say you can incorporate this into your dailies, is maybe if you're logging in for the first time in the morning, you can clear out whatever you've already done. Let's say you did the morning board and night board of yesterday, last morning, and then the next morning you get up, log in, get your dailies and stuff done, and then you can go into the dispatch quests, accept all your results. Like this, for example, I just click see result, I get a great success pop up, I get told, oh, these are the items I've dropped, I get some CP as well, and I can move on to the next screen, and then I can start filling it out, right? Easily. I can just keep doing that. So you can do that, in all honesty. And the beautiful thing is the night board has already reset because you didn't focus on doing the night board the night before. So you can do that. Alternatively, if you log in once you come back from work, you can do the same again. clear out your morning board, clear out your night board, and then resend them out on the morning and night boards, and they'll reset the next day anyways completely. So you can do that. In my personal opinion, this is super easy, super efficient, and it's an easy way to go about it, right? Now, I mentioned that there are certain quests that people do, and these are very good quests to do, in all honesty. The first one, in my personal opinion, is this one. To the Banquet. It's a CP hugely up quest, which means you will get a lot of CP experience and CP levels by just doing this specific quest. So you should do it, and in my opinion, it's an easy way to also get Iris. Another one that a lot of people do is Report on Lawlog Lake. Report on Lawlog Lake basically gives 20 Iris for getting a great success. And in my opinion, that's again free Iris. It's a free 20 Iris, you know, event which you don't have to do anything for. You just have to send out your units and get it done, right? So in my opinion, it's really valuable. Of course, what I do for the CP hugely up quest is send out units that are low CP for me. Of course, I had to send out Loki and Freya because of the recommended units, which I'll get into just a second. But yeah, that's the idea basically. So let me just clear out these results, and then we'll quickly go and talk about exactly what you need to do in order to effectively get a guaranteed great success, okay? So let's go and do this one. Let's try and do the hardest one because it's the longest one. It's an extra stage. It's a Valis quest, so that means I'll get a lot of Valis for it, and if I get a great success, I get an Iris and Secret Hammers, which is nice, right? So I click challenge and I go into here. Now, there are a couple of things to note here. First and foremost, the top right. Advice status, advice skill points, absence penalty, and quest success rate. Now, the idea of advice status and advice skill points is to see how strong your units are. So say for example, I want to use a Hermes that is not the strongest, right? It's one of the recommended units, but I don't have a Hermes that's really strong. So let me see if I can find a level 60 Hermes that I have, or a level 61 Hermes that I might have. Wait, actually, this is adventurers, my bad. Actually, you know what, I have an alternative idea. Let's use Uka. Uka as an example will be, or Gareth, actually. Yeah, Gareth will be perfect. So I have Gareth here, right? It gives me 4,100 status points. He's level 60, only 60 points out of the skill points. So effectively, depending on how much advice skill points you need, you will need effectively +2s and +3s, because if I were to do, let's say this bell right on the top left, he's level 80. That adds up as well. It becomes 140. So you basically want to have around +2s, +3s primarily to reach 544 at minimum. This is the hardest one, right? And of course, the assists statuses, or its abilities, basically these stats, right? You want to look at these stats, these ability stats on the right hand side right here. His STR, endurance, dexterity. The total of that is what gives the status over here in the top right. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to do that. So effectively, it tries to see how strong your units are and see if it's capable of doing this event. Now, obviously, in my personal opinion, you can easily do this with even 2 stars and 3 stars, because I don't have a +5 Gareth, right? So for me, this is actually kind of tricky. A +5 Gareth that is 4 stars. So I just use this one. This one is a 3-star Gareth, or a 2-star Gareth. I don't know which one it is, but it's a 2-star / 3-star Gareth, and I can just chuck him in for the event, and that gives me level 80 already, along with a good amount of status points. So that's something you can do as well, is get your 2 stars and 3 stars up so that you can just use them for the expedition or dispatch quest, I should say, dispatch quest. It's very easy in that regard. So let's put some units, and one thing to note is that I wouldn't stress too much about not meeting the requirements. As long as they're at around 90% success rate, quest success rate, I struggle there. You should be fine. You should be fine around 90%. Now, one thing to note is that there is also an absence penalty. What the absence penalty means is that if you have empty slots right here, right? For example, I add in eyes, it goes down to 62.5%, or it goes up to minus 62.5%, I should say. So the more units you add, the more assists you add, it'll increase by 12.5%, removing the absence penalty basically. So that's a good thing. So just try and at least fill this team out. So let's say I want to add random units right now, right? I at least do the bare minimum here basically by getting this done, because obviously I've met the advice status points, I've met the advice skill points, and I've got no absence penalty. So that means I have a quest success rate of 100%. That's great, right? Now, you want to look at the bottom right? Now, the color of the success forecast is a great yellow. It's lit up. It's fantastic, right? There's no issues with that. But what about the cloud in the middle, right? So let's say I remove Gareth. It becomes a thunderstorm. What the icon suggests, the thundercloud, the cloud, and stuff like that, we'll go through each one once we start adding the recommended units, is it determines if you will get a great success or not. If it's a thundercloud, you're not going to get a great success. If I were to add Gareth back in, okay, there is a small chance you could get a great success. Let's say I add in an Hermes. I have an Hermes right here. Okay, there's the sun peeking out. Now you have a higher chance of getting a great success. All right, let's add Freya now. Where is one of my Freyas? There it is. Now it's even better. It's basically like a 75% chance of getting a great success. There's clouds, but there is a sun peeking out in a much bigger manner. And now if I were to finally add Uka, where is an Uka that I can just chuck in? I probably have like a +1 or +2 Uka right here somewhere. If I can find one. Where is he? There he is. He's a +2 Uka. There you go. It's a full sun, no clouds, no nothing. That is a guaranteed great success. So you can do that as well and get it done with. I would say the primary thing you want to make sure you do is try and fill out the team and try and get the recommended units. Those are the two things I would say that is most important, more so than the actual quest success rate. Because the quest success rate, yes, even if it is 80%, it's 80%. If it's 90%, it's 90%. There is still a higher chance of you getting the quest success rate, but all you need to do is ensure that you don't have an absence penalty and you are getting a great success guaranteed. Now, another thing you can do if you don't want to set up your teams and stuff is just click recommended party and go from there. In all honesty, you can just do that very easily. One thing though I would say is when you're doing a CP hugely up quest, to make sure you put in units that you want to increase the CP levels of. That's the only thing I would say. Okay, I'm gonna just dispatch all of my stuff now. You guys can see exactly what I do on a daily basis. Effectively here, I just go into challenge, I click recommended party, click dispatch, send them off. Because I've come to a point where I'm end game, I have a lot of units available, you know, a lot of 4 stars, a lot of 3 stars that are effectively +4, +5, and I can easily just click recommend and it sends it. Now there are certain units that are a little bit trickier to implement because they don't have 4 stars, right? So you have to get their 3-star variants or 2-star variants up and running. Units like, say for example, Mord, right? Takemi Kazuchi. These guys don't have that many 4 stars, so you're kind of relegated to using like the 3-star variants and stuff like that, which can happen. It can happen and it can be a little tricky, but in all honesty, with how many 3 stars and 2 stars you pull from each multi you do on banners, you should be more than fine. And especially with the free, how many free multis they've been giving recently, right? You can easily do it. In all honesty, you can very easily do it. All right, so now that that's done, let's go over to the special board. Now, of course, earlier on you must have seen that these the top one and the bottom one were locked. What happened? Basically, the requirements to be able to unlock a lot of the special board stages is that you need to complete a lot of actually normal dispatch quests. So over time, as long as you keep doing the morning board and night board, the special board will unlock. But another thing that happens here is that, as you can see in the bottom left, you can't guess what recommended units they want. If I were to just go into challenge, click recommended party, it's a thunderstorm because the unit's on right. So what can you do then? I don't know what the recommended units are. Even I don't know what they are by heart, to be quite honest. So what do you do in this situation? Well, I have a guide for you, and you guys will be able to see it on your screens right now. And there we go. This is the guide that you guys will need in order to know what to do for the special board. I'm going to be going over each and every single stage, and you guys can pause it at any given time. I'm going to just scroll through them from left to right, go back, go down the next row, left to right, and so on and so forth. Big shout outs to the Hestia Familia for getting this guide made. Big ups to them. And of course, if you guys, like I said, need to pause at any given time, you can do so. I'm gonna make sure I scroll very slowly so that you guys can get this done. Okay, so We have Sword Princess's test to start off with. Of course, I'm gonna try and point out certain units that you guys may not know. So, of course, in the Sword Princess's test, the rightmost unit is, of course, Takemi Kazuchi. Blacksmith's backup, we have Misha as the third unit right there. Ahmed at the end, of course. Fine quality materials. I'm pretty sure you guys know all of these guys. Garrett, Riveria, Finn, Shakti, of course. Sword Keep Fighting. Goibinu is the second unit right there. Tsubaki, Eyes, Hephaestus. All right, let's move on to the next row. Okay. Mad Wolf's test. I mean, I'm sure you guys know everybody here. That's Tiona, by the way. It's not Tione, just to clarify. I mean, the short hair must have been obvious, right? Seeking Hard Ore. Now, one thing to note before I go any further here and show you guys the rest is the hints are pretty obvious. Even if you don't want to use this guide, the hints are pretty obvious. So I want as many supporters who can carry a lot of ores. Lily would be obvious, the others maybe not so much, but yeah, you can kind of guess what you can do there. But this stage requires Chigusa, Raul, Lily, special magic ore. You've got all the elves here basically, Riveria, Ryu, Philvis, stuff like that. Starving Wolf has Chloe at the end right there, and whatnot. Very cool, very cool. Let's move down to the next one and see what we have here. Now this one's a little bit tricky because it requires you to have Mord, Gareth. Not the easiest units to get 4 stars for. Uka, I should say more than Uka in priority, I should say, because Gareth has been getting a couple of 4 stars recently, but Uka and Mord, bit trickier. So this is where I say 2 stars and 3 stars are pretty valuable. Materials for a wand. Now I remember this being the trickiest stage because Anna Kitty at that time only had a 4 star, so not a lot of people could actually clear this completely or get a guaranteed great success because they didn't have Anna Kitty. So that was a struggle at the time, so that's something to bear in mind. To the Sacred Forest, we have Asfi here. By the way, Ahmed is the white-haired chick on the left-hand side for the previous quest that we just saw. I want to catch up. You have Tiona here, of course, and Lafia, Riveria, Eyes, as always. Let's scroll to the left and scroll down again. Sneaking Mission, Meow. Tione makes her first appearance here. I don't know why I was trying to say a mixture of Tiona and Tione there for a split second. That was a bit weird. How do I teach? You've got Riveria, Philvis, Shakti, Takemi Kazuchi. Helping a supporter. Same supporter lineup as before. Shopping War, you've got Mia here for the first time, I think. I don't think we saw Mia before. You've got Demeter as well. Very interesting. Alright, Sioro Exploration. Mikoto, Naza, Uka, Mort, someone on the same level as Master Bell. Now, this is of course in reference to when Bell was level 2, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or level 1, if I'm not, I think it was level 2. Find rare materials, Bell, Asfi, Ryu, Chloe, Carrier Wanted, Raul, Fells, and Anna Kitty here. Very tricky one. A demon arrives, Otaro, Finn, Tsubaki, Shakti. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Masked Adventurer, Bell, Mikoto, Asfi, Mord. Alright, I don't think there's any tricky ones anymore. Of course, the ones, at least new ones that I haven't mentioned, right? These are all existing ones that we've already seen. Poetic Justice, you've got there. Attack Middle Floors, The Holy Tree. There you guys go. Let's move on to the next one. Go all the way to the left. Cat Spear again, very easy units to recognize. Tione, Tiona, Mikoto, Chloe for Let's Go to Melon. Search for a Gold Mine is right there. Goibinu comes in again. I think Goibinu is one of the trickier ones as well, I would say. Specifically, I would say Goibinu, Mord, and Uka are probably the 3 most trickiest ones to try and get units maximized for, you know, dispatch quests in all honesty. Exposed Casino's Crime, Bell, Seer, Mord, Otaro, Mia for Gift to Freya, Hermes, and Anya. Overworking Blacksmith, you've got Otaro, Tione, Tiona, and Uka again. I was about to say Wealth for some reason. Actually, I haven't seen Wealth be required in any of the dispatch quests. That's very interesting. I never realized that. Okay, Loki's Impossible Wish. Eyes, Finn, Riveria, Bet. Okay, we move on to the next row. Oh, 2 more rows to go. Perfect. Craft Grand Axe, Wealth, Hephaestus, Tsubaki, Goibinu. Prepare for expedition. You've got these guys there. Combat trading, and then mysterious conditions. So these are the ones you guys need to keep an eye out for. Make sure you guys can do well here. And then finally, our final row, the hardest one, I would say, because these dispatch quests require you to complete a lot of dispatch quests. Like you have to complete like 60 of them at one point to unlock the next round of the Anonymous Millionaire stage. So you have Riveria, Raul, Dionysus, and Ahmed Hamid. The next anonymous millionaire is Otaro Tsubaki Raul Mord. The next anonymous millionaire is Gareth, Ryu, Hestia, and Seer. And the final anonymous millionaire is Mikoto, Tione, Anya, and Mia. So yeah, they don't have any advice for these ones, so you kind of have to just guess and play basically. So that's why I always try and that's why I said I'm gonna show you guys exactly what you need. But there you guys go. Hopefully this video could help you guys in terms of the dispatch quests and stuff like that. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this dispatch quest guide, any improvements that I could do and stuff like that. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, like I said, comment down below any improvements that can happen and any other guides you guys might want to see. Let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys want to see down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. It's been Gailright signing out. Bye bye everybody.